The past few months, I've been earning about $5,000 a month through this YouTube channel, which equates to about $60,000 a year. And I gotta say, being a successful YouTuber is not all it's cracked up to be. In fact, I kinda hate it. Now, I know $60,000 a year isn't exactly a high income, especially considering there's no benefits included with that. But for me, it's really not that bad. I don't have a lot of expenses. But here's the thing, it has been my dream to be successfully self employed for as long as I can remember. And sometime, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I set my sights on YouTube as the vehicle through which I wanted to achieve that dream. I mean, who wouldn't want to be a successful YouTuber? You get paid to be creative and you get to make your own schedule, right? Right? Well, not exactly. But outside the supposed freedom from wage slavery, there's a couple other big reasons I was always drawn to YouTube. One reason is I already had some experience with an old YouTube channel I had back in 2016. I only posted on there for a couple months. I think I made something like 10 to 15 videos in total, but I ended up almost making $100 on that channel, and I really wasn't even trying. I was just making random videos talking about random topics, but a couple of those videos took off and actually got 10 to 20,000 views. So that gave me a taste of what was possible, but more importantly, I realized that I really enjoyed making videos and I enjoyed making thumbnails and the whole process really. I enjoyed it a lot. I think because it's a lot like having a journal. It's nice to just get things off my chest. But also, I enjoy it because it allowed me to express myself in a creative way, which is something I think probably most people can relate to. I mean, is there even a single person that has ever lived that didn't have at least some desire to do something creative at some point or another? I think being creative, or at least wanting to be creative, is just a part of human nature. So if I could get paid to do something creative, that would be perfect. The other thing I always really liked about YouTube is I am an extremely shy person in real life. I have a very strong case of social anxiety disorder. So, in my day to day life, I do not do a lot of conversing. I do not express myself. I pretty much never tell anybody about my true thoughts and feelings. What little conversation I have had in my life has mostly just been me doing my best to try to act normal. But with making videos for YouTube, I never had that anxiety about expressing myself. Especially on this channel, which is mostly anonymous. I did eventually show my face, but honestly, I might delete those videos. But even then, it feels like it's a small chance of anyone that knows me IRL ever seeing any of my videos, so there's no anxiety there. YouTube is actually the only way I've found where I can express myself freely, or mostly freely, and actually have people pay attention to what I'm saying. The censorship is out of control these days, so I can't speak 100% freely, but that's a topic for another video. So basically, the reasons that YouTube has been my dream for so many years now is because I enjoy the work, I found it fulfilling on a creative level, and also because I've always felt like it was feasible. YouTube AdSense actually pays pretty well for the amount of views you can get. For reference, on my channel, I earn about $6.50 per thousand views. So after 2 years of consistent posting on this channel and almost 300 videos uploaded, I finally got to the point where I can say I am now making a meager living. It's not a lot that I'm making, it's about $5,000 a month, but I probably could afford an apartment in my area with roommates and still be able to save a small amount for retirement. So that's kind of the bare minimum of what you could call making a living. So I would say I have pretty much achieved my dream. With that said, I am still just as miserable now as I always have been. When I first started posting on this channel, I felt like I had a renewed source of energy. It was kind of exciting making these videos. For those that don't know, before I started this channel, I had another channel where I was making highly edited video essays. Think something along the lines of Sunny V2 or Turkey Tom, although the subject matter was different. I actually worked pretty much full time for a whole year on that channel, and it wasn't a total flop, but when it was all said and done, I think I made maybe $3,000 over the course of that year. And most of that was all just from one video I had that went viral. If you watched the first video I ever posted on this channel, the Loser Maxing channel, you'll notice I talked about how you could see what I look like in some of my other videos, because I actually recorded that before I decided to create a new channel. I was originally going to post that on my old channel, but then I decided not to because my parents knew about that channel and I didn't want them to see that because I don't feel comfortable talking about certain things around them. So I think it was the fact that I had a fresh new channel that was anonymous, and I actually had people listening to me talking about things that I've just had bottled up inside me for so long. It made me feel energized. At that point in my life, making these videos was the one and only thing I had that made me actually feel like getting out of bed and doing something. And making videos is still important to me. I'll probably never stop, but it's not the same anymore. It doesn't excite me like it used to. It's funny because I remember being super excited when one of my videos got 10,000 views, and now it barely even registers to me when I have a video hit 50,000 views. Just a few weeks ago, I had my fastest growing video yet. It got to 100,000 views in only 1 or 2 weeks, and yeah, I was happy about it, but it didn't really motivate me. It was just like, cool, my video's doing well. I'm gonna make more money this week. That's great. But there wasn't any big dopamine rush or anything. I'm just numb to it now. But I'm only numb to the highs. The lows probably hit harder than ever now. When I have a video flop, it feels like absolute shit. It just feels awful. And that hurts me on a creative level too. More on that later. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm going through right now because my last video was a flop. And you know, what can I say? It just feels like shit. By the way, I'm not saying all this just to say that the excitement's worn off. That is part of it, but a lot of the things that you might expect would go along with YouTube success, it's not really like how you might think it would be. Now, I am speaking from the perspective of a guy with 26,000 subscribers that's making about $5,000 a month. Obviously, there are levels to this. I'm sure if I was making $20,000 a month with 1 million subscribers, you know, that's life-changing success. At that point, I imagine I probably would have zero financial concerns whatsoever. That's $240,000 a year. That's no joke. But I'm only making a fraction of that. And who knows if that's even going to last. I never know if something I say is going to make half my audience turn against me, or there could be an algorithm change on YouTube's end that suddenly makes my videos stop getting recommended, or they could just terminate my whole channel without warning. Some of you probably don't know this, but that did happen to me. This channel got terminated for hate speech out of the blue, all of a sudden, with no warning whatsoever. I didn't even have any strikes or anything. Then, after about 2 weeks, they put the channel back up and YouTube support emailed me saying they made a mistake. So I still have no idea what the hell that was about, but that's got me in a constant state of fear about all this just going poof. Sayonara. Bye-bye, channel. Bye-bye, income. It could happen any day. I try not to let that limit my creativity or affect what I say in my videos, but I'm sure on some subconscious level, that fear of losing everything I've built so far, that probably is affecting my output. I mean, there definitely are certain words I know I can't say, but I do try to not let it affect my topic choice, at least. And here's the thing, too. I am very aware of the fact that the more that I work and the faster I am able to produce quality videos for you guys, the more money I make. So now that I actually make decent money from these videos, I feel guilty whenever I'm not working. For those that don't know, I live at home with my mom and I help take care of my cousin who is 2 years old. My mom has full custody of him, but my mom is away from home a lot, so most days it's just me and the little guy here alone for most of the day. So I am basically like a father to him. It is a lot of work, because also I'm not going to just be sitting there on my phone ignoring him when I'm supposed to be taking care of him. I'm trying to help him thrive in this cruel world. So when I'm watching him, he has all my attention. I'm reading to him, or I'm teaching him something, or we'll go on a bike ride, or we'll do some other activities. But I don't just sit him in front of the TV and turn on Coco Melon. I am actively engaging with him all day, so he has the best chance possible of growing up intelligent and with a good self-esteem and everything. Okay, so as much as I talk about being unemployed, the truth of the matter is I actually work all day, every day. What little free time I do have to myself, I'm spending virtually all of that time outlining videos, writing scripts, researching video ideas, working on thumbnails, editing the videos, doing the voiceover, editing the audio, which I do enjoy this stuff to some extent, but it's past the point of being a hobby now. Sometimes I just want to sit and relax, but I can't. I feel guilty because I could be working. Even in the middle of the night when I'm laying in bed, I can't think about anything other than YouTube. I'll end up staying up till 3 a.m. sometimes just going through YouTube trying to find inspiration for video ideas or new thumbnail designs and everything. I'll stay up all night knowing I have to get up early in the morning whenever this toddler wakes up. I can't turn it off. I probably work at least full-time on YouTube now, on top of also being a full-time caretaker for this kid. I know a lot of people work full-time while also being a parent. I'm not trying to say I'm the hardest worker in the world. Just saying, when I used to dream about making money on YouTube, part of that dream was the idea of freedom, having more free time than I would in a regular job. And sure, there are benefits to it, like I can technically take as much time off as I want, but then I'll make less money. Because if I take a whole week off or 2 weeks off, I'm losing a lot of money. It's actually worse than you think because I've tested this. Anytime I go a week or more without uploading, whenever I start uploading again, my next few videos will not get as many views as they would if I had kept uploading consistently. I think it has something to do with how the algorithm works. If my regular viewers are getting on YouTube while I'm not uploading, they start watching other channels because I don't have anything new for them to watch. So the algorithm stops promoting me as much to those viewers. So it's like I'm losing progress anytime I take even a little bit of time off. So I feel like I can't take a break. I have to keep hustling. I have to stay on the grind. And I think most people probably don't realize how much work goes into my videos. There are some videos where all I did was turn on the mic and start talking, but the vast majority of the time, I actually write out a detailed outline to help keep me organized when I'm recording. I'm not the type of person that can just talk off the dome and have it sound good. I have to plan this shit out. And sometimes I write a full script, and that takes hours. Okay, a 24-minute long video is about 3,500 words. It's mostly just my videos where I'm talking about something that happened in my life recently that I'll actually just turn on the mic and just record. But even with those videos, I usually spend hours making the thumbnails. And that is thumbnails, plural, for most videos. You might only see one thumbnail, but I actually make anywhere from 2 to 5 thumbnail variations for every single video. By the way, I have never outsourced anything for this channel. All of the editing, thumbnail design, and everything else, that was all me. I have used AI to make Wojaks with different expressions or different clothing, but that's as far as that goes. And even then, I still have to decide what I want the thumbnail concept to be in the first place. I have to decide what words to put on the thumbnail and everything. And I'm not trying to say that this is backbreaking labor. In fact, it's completely retarded that I'm even making any money from this at all. So please don't take this as me complaining right now. I'm just trying to explain what all goes into the process because I know a lot of the people that watch these videos don't consider the fact that it is actually work. It's probably at least a little bit more difficult than you'd think. Another thing about the YouTube grind, it's limiting to my creative freedom too because, when I first started this channel, I was just making videos talking about whatever I wanted to talk about, which was mostly just talking about whatever was going on in my life at the time. But as I've gotten more successful, there is a very strong temptation to focus more on making videos that I think y'all want me to make. Because the more views I get, the more money I make. And it's not just the difference between a video earning me $20 versus $5. We're at the point now where a poor performing video is making me around $100, but a high performing video might make me more like $300 to $1,000. So I have a big motivating factor there, pushing me toward focusing on trending topics. Now, what I tend to do is I'll usually make every third or fourth video be a video that's just something I want to talk about, regardless of how I think it'll perform. And the rest of the time, I'll focus on topics that I think you guys are more interested in seeing. So this is my personal video for this week. My next few videos will probably be topics that will be more interesting to most of you. I don't expect this video to perform well. I could be wrong, but this is just for me. This is my journal entry. It's videos like this that keep me from burning out so I can keep bringing you the shit y'all really want to see, like how women react to unattractive men. Now, there are times where my passion video is something that performs well, so that's great when that happens, but usually that's not the case. And sometimes I'll go several weeks without making a video that's what I really want to make because I just feel like I can't afford it sometimes if it's been a while since I've had a high-performing video. So the main benefit of being a YouTuber that I think most people think of is the freedom. People see it as a job where you have freedom to express yourself and freedom to work your own hours and make your own schedule. But those things are only partially true. Don't get me wrong, it is better than most jobs in that regard. Technically, I can take a break whenever I want, but in most careers, I know this isn't the case for hourly jobs, but in most jobs that I would have as an alternative to this, say being an engineer or a software developer, when you take a vacation in those jobs, you still get paid. Last time I went on a trip, I worked every night because if I don't work, I don't get paid. And again, it's worse than you think because even a small gap in my regular upload frequency will result in decreased views on my next 3 to 5 videos. I'm going to be going to the beach next week, actually, and while I'm there, I'm going to be working every day, as often as I can find the time. I don't even want to go, by the way. I would rather stay home, but I need to help out with my cousin, so I'm going to be going. Another thing is people tell me sometimes in the comments that I should be able to impress women now because I'm making money online as a content creator, because that's like a cool job and everything. And it's like, what do you expect me to tell these broads? That I'm a famous 37-year-old virgin on the internet? I'm pretty sure most women are not going to want to have anything to do with me when they see what kind of videos I'm making. They'd probably be scared. My videos are almost as repulsive as my awkwardly small and misshapen cranium. Hey there, excuse me, I just wanted to say I saw you from across the room and I think you are absolutely beautiful. Oh, me? What do I do? Well, I'm kind of a big deal on YouTube. Perhaps you've seen my hit video, Physical Traits That Repel Women Tier List. Oh, you haven't seen that one? How about my smash hit, Game Theory Perfectly Explains Women's Behavior? If I wasn't making YouTube videos, I'd probably just be rotting away living the neat life. So obviously, this is better than nothing. And I do think it's probably better than any actual job I'd be able to get. So don't get me wrong. I do understand that I am in a fortunate position compared to a lot of people. And I do mean that I'm in a fortunate position. There is some skill involved in being successful on YouTube, but there's also a lot of luck. Anyone that tells you it's all skill is full of shit. I don't care what anyone says. The algorithm is not just based on audience behavior. There is some weird shit going on behind the scenes. But even if it is just purely based on audience behavior, which it's not, but if it is,
But the people are retarded.
If you enjoyed the video, please consider watching some of my other videos. That's the best thing you could do to help me out. There's also some secret videos you can watch for free on my Patreon, videos YouTube doesn't want you to see. So check that out. No sign up required. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.